In a landmark decision, the United States Supreme Court issued a ruling requiring TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, to sell the popular app to a non-foreign adversary by Sunday. The ruling emphasizes national security concerns related to TikTok's data practices and its connection to the Chinese government. The court's decision is a pivotal moment in the ongoing debate about technology, privacy, and foreign influence in the United States. The Supreme Court's 9-0 ruling. The Supreme Court's unanimous 9-0 decision affirmed that ByteDance, a Chinese-owned company, must divest its interest in TikTok to comply with U.S. law. The ruling underscores concerns about the app's data collection practices and its relationship with the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. The court's opinion explicitly cites the potential national security threat posed by a foreign adversary's control of an app with over 170 million U.S. users. The ruling rejects TikTok's argument that the divestiture order violates the First Amendment. The court determined that the law does not directly target content or speech on the platform but instead focuses on corporate ownership and national security. By applying an intermediate scrutiny standard rather than strict scrutiny, the court made it easier for the government to justify its actions. Addressing First Amendment claims. TikTok's legal team argued that the divestiture requirement infringed on the First Amendment rights of both the company and its users. They claimed the law should be evaluated under strict scrutiny, the highest level of judicial review. However, the Supreme Court disagreed, stating that the law is content neutral and does not directly regulate speech or expression. Instead, it addresses corporate ownership and the risks associated with foreign control. The court highlighted that Congress had valid national security concerns, including TikTok's potential to collect and misuse sensitive user data. By framing the issue as a matter of corporate divestiture rather than a restriction on speech, the court avoided applying strict scrutiny, significantly bolstering the government's position. National security concerns. At the heart of the ruling is the Supreme Court's agreement with Congress that TikTok poses a significant national security risk. ByteDance obligations under Chinese law require the company to cooperate with the Chinese government's intelligence operations. This includes granting access to data stored on its servers, raising concerns about how user information could be exploited. The court's opinion also emphasized the opaque nature of TikTok's data collection practices. The justices noted that ByteDance's proprietary algorithm and source code, developed and maintained in China, could be leveraged for purposes beyond user engagement, including espionage or influence campaigns. Criticism of Donald Trump. The ruling included pointed references to former President Donald Trump's inconsistent stance on TikTok. In 2020, Trump issued an executive order citing national security concerns and initiated efforts to ban TikTok unless ByteDance divested its U.S. operations. The Supreme Court's opinion recounted these actions, underscoring the continuity of national security concerns across administrations. However, the court also indirectly criticized Trump for his recent flip-flop on the issue. Despite his previous support for banning TikTok, Trump has since expressed opposition to the forced sale, allegedly influenced by personal and political motivations. His son, Barron Trump, reportedly encouraged him to embrace TikTok as a campaign tool, and Trump has business ties to investors with stakes in ByteDance. The Supreme Court's decision to ignore Trump's recent amicus brief, which requested more time to negotiate a deal, highlights the judiciary's dismissal of his arguments. Congressional action and the divestiture law. The court's ruling also supports Congress's passage of the Protect Americans from Foreign Adversaries Act. This legislation mandates the divestiture of foreign-controlled assets deemed a threat to national security. The justices emphasized that the law's focus is on corporate ownership, not the content of TikTok's platform. By targeting ByteDance control rather than user-generated content, Congress avoided direct First Amendment implications. The court's opinion referenced the law's goal of preventing China from leveraging TikTok to gather vast amounts of data on U.S. citizens. This rationale, the justices concluded, qualifies as an important government interest under intermediate scrutiny, validating the legislation's constitutionality. TikTok's defense falls flat. During oral arguments, TikTok's legal team struggled to convince the court that the platform posed no significant security risks. They argued that China's intelligence operations could obtain similar data through other means, rendering TikTok's divestiture unnecessary. The justices rejected this argument, deferring to Congress's predictive judgments about the risks associated with foreign adversary-controlled technology. The court's opinion noted that TikTok failed to address concerns about the platform's data collection practices adequately. By downplaying the potential for misuse of user data, TikTok's defense appeared unconvincing to the justices. The Biden administration's role. The Biden administration has strategically handled the TikTok issue, leveraging the Supreme Court's ruling to place political pressure on Trump. By declining to enforce the ban immediately, the administration has shifted responsibility to Trump, who must now navigate the fallout. This move highlights the administration's political acumen, forcing Trump to either enforce the law or explain why he no longer views TikTok as a security threat. Next steps and political implications. The Supreme Court's decision sets the stage for significant political and legal developments. ByteDance must divest TikTok by Sunday, but enforcement may be delayed as the transition of power approaches. Trump's opposition to the ban could create an awkward dynamic during his inauguration, especially with prominent tech figures and Chinese officials in attendance. The ruling also underscores the broader issue of foreign influence and data security. By affirming Congress's authority to regulate foreign-controlled technology, the court has set a precedent for addressing similar cases in the future. This decision reinforces the importance of protecting national security while navigating the complexities of modern technology. As the situation unfolds, the Biden administration and Congress will likely use the Supreme Court's decision to advocate for stronger regulations on foreign-controlled apps. The ruling may also influence public opinion, highlighting the risks associated with foreign ownership of critical digital infrastructure.